Hello everyone, this is Zach with MTG Poke Hero. Today we're going to be continuing our Ixalan Spoilers series, and we are going to be looking at the pirates. Our first card is Pirate Cutlass. For 3, it's an artifact equipment. Whenever it enters the battlefield, attach it to a pirate. The equipped pirate or creature gets +2/+1. Regular equipped is for 2. This is a really good card for limited for the pirates deck. Other than that, I don't see it seeing play anywhere else. Our next card is Deadeye Tormentor for 2 and a black. It is a 2/2 with Raid. If a creature attacked this turn, target opponent discards a card. It's a pretty decent card. The only issue is that your opponent gets the choice, and you don't really get to look at their hand, which we'll talk about later, because there's a card for 1 less mana that does something a little bit better for that. You're playing it limited, but other than that, it won't see Saren play. Prosperous Pirates is 4 and a blue. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens for a 3/4. It's pretty decent for limited, but realistically, that's all it's going to see play in non-standard. Just because, I mean, you're getting a 3/4 for 5, but then you net 2 mana back. But all in that, it's a pretty decent card for the limited pirate deck. Siren Storm Tamer for blue. As Siren Pirate Wizard uncommon. Flying, pay a blue, sacrifice Siren Storm Tamer. Counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control for a 1/1. Now this one will see play for standard. Just the fact that you can basically kind of switch the target. You lose you sacrifice it, but you're able to take care of one of your other pirates. It's a pretty decent card, and I think it'll definitely see play. The next one is Stormfleet Aerialist. It's 1 in a blue for flying. With Raid, if you had a creature attack this turn, it's a +1/+1 counter. So you get a 1/2 that has the ability to become a 2/3. We might see it in standard. It just depends on how all the different 2-drops work out, but definitely going to play this in limited. Now, we have Lookout Dispersal for 2 and a blue. When Lookout Dispersal costs 1 less if you cast it if you control a pirate. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. Basically, we get mana leak potential for 1 extra mana they have to pay. It's a really good card. They're really pushing pirates in standard. You're going to play it in limited. This is a great card, and we will see it in that pirate deck. The next one is Stormfleet Spy for 2 and a blue. If you attack this turn, you get to draw a card with a 2/2. Pretty decent, a little uncommon. You're going to play it in your limited deck, but I don't think it's going to make the 3-drop spot. In standard, we'll just have to see how the pirates turn out. Next one is Deadeye Courtmaster for 3 and a blue. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library for an equipment or a vehicle, and then put it in your hand and shuffle your library for a 2/2. Limited. Not going to see place in standard, but it will go and look out for some of your decent equipment, like your Cutlass, and then, whatever different vehicle pirate ship you want to play. One, it sounds rules. It is for 1 and a black. Whenever it dies, your opponent creates 2 treasure tokens for a 4/3. Different people have been saying a lot of different things. I'm more on the fact that this is bad, just because if it dies, you are going to let your opponents ramp up, and it dies to every piece of removal in standard. But all in all, if you compare this with the Lookout Dispersal or the Storm Tamer, it would be okay, but honestly, I would stay away from it. Limited, maybe, but other than that, stay away from this card. It's a trap. Kitesail Freebooter for 1 and a black, flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you get to duress your opponent, and then when it dies, they get that card back. For 1/2, this is a really good card. We'll see it in standard, just for its ability. But all in all, it's good. You're going to play it in standard. It's going to help fill out your 2-drop slot. Limited, it's a bomb. Wily Goblin, double red. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you get to create a treasure token for a 1/1. People were saying that this card's going to be good. Honestly, I don't see it. Your mana is going to be pushed enough as it is, so trying to get double red in a Grixis Pirates deck that's going to be aggressive is going to be really hard, so I would stay away from it. You would play it in limited. I don't see it in the Grixis Pirate decks. Maybe, but all in all, just stay away from it. Stormfleet Arsonist, 4 and a red. Raid, if you attack with a creature this turn, your opponent gets to sack a permanent with 4/4/4. Limited bomb, that's about all you're really going to see it. The only issue is that your opponent, they get to choose the permanent that they sack, which usually means they won't sack a creature. They'll probably sack a land or some random enchantment or vehicle or equipment. But all in all, great and limited, not good anywhere else. Marauding Looter, 4 for 2 blue and a red. Raid, if you attacked with a creature this turn, you get to draw a card. If you do, discard a card for 4/3. It's pretty good. You get to actually cycle out a card that might be holding a spot in your hand that you just been having a really hard time with. But at least this way, for 4/3, draw a card, pretty decent. We'll see it in limited next to the other 2 blue draw a card for Raid, but it's alright. Dire Fleet Captain, black and a red. Whenever Dire Fleet Captain attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each attacking pirate for a 2/2. This card is great. This card is great. You're going to play it in standard. You're going to play it in limited. It is so good. It is basically Goblin Rabble Master without the create an extra goblin. I love it. Play it in your pirate deck. It's going to cause so many issues for a 2/2. The next one is Deadeye Plunderers for 3, blue and a black. It gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. You can play 2 blue and a black and create a treasure artifact token for a 3/3. We've seen that the pirates are bringing out a lot of different treasures, so in limited it will be really good. I don't see it in standard unless we get some really weird artifact themed deck, which we might, but that's something we'll just have to see. Limited for sure. Keep your eyes out, maybe for standard, but for 5 mana for a 3/3, all in all, probably just stick to limited for now. This card has so much flavor, and it is so good. The Fell Flagship for 3, artifact vehicle. Pirates you control get +1/+0 whenever it deals combat damage to a player. That player discards a card for a 3/3. It's really good. It pumps all your pirates, so it's kind of like a semi-lord kind of deal for ship, which kind of makes sense. But all in all, it's a great card. You may try to fit it into standard. It's probably going to be fighting for a 3-drop slot. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. But just the fact that you get your opponent to discard a card is great for a 3/3. So we'll see how that one goes. Okay, this one is Ogre Hand Ravager for 3 and 2 black. It has Miss Death Touch. For a 4/4, whenever it enters the battlefield, each player loses a third of his or her life, rounded up. Standard? Possibly no. Not even close. Limited? Yes. We'll just have to see where that goes. Definitely going to be an EDH. All in all, it's an okay card. I mean, the Menace and Death Touch, it makes it really hard to block. Limited, I think it will be okay in limited. It's going to be at the higher end of your curve. But realistically, I think it'll find more of a home than in EDH than anything else. This is Seamus on a stick. The pirate looks like Seamus, which makes me really excited. This is Fathom Fleet Captain for 1 colorless and a black. It has Menace. Whenever Fathom Fleet Captain attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2 if you do create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with Menace for a 2/1. It's really good. It's going to be able to get through a lot of different stuff. The only issue is it does die to every piece of removal in the format, but still the ability to possibly gain a couple more pirates for 2 mana. Late mana stink, you're going to play it in limited for sure. You're going to fight for it a little bit in standard, but I think it has enough oomph behind it to where we'll see it in standard. Deadeye Tracker, 1 black for human pirate 1/1. You may pay 1 and a black, exile 2 target cards from an opponent's graveyard. Deadeye Tracker explores. So basically, you can end up pumping it, or you get a kind of ramp, which is a pretty decent effect, and we'll see how that goes. But I think overall this will be a pretty decent card. Definitely will probably fit in your 1-drop slot next to the Storm Tamer in Standard. Ruin Raider. It's a 3/2 for 2 and a black raid. Whenever it enters the battlefield after you're attacked, you get to look at the top card, reveal it, and then put it onto your hand. You lose life equal to that card's converted mana cost. It's pretty decent. Definitely maybe see it in Standard for that 3-drop slot. And we've seen, but I don't know about like the whole just put it in your hand. You're probably going to play it in Limited. I think it's going to be tough in Standard. Definitely you're going to play it in Commander though. Daring Saboteur 1 and a blue for a Human Pirate 2/1. You may pay 2 and a blue. Can't be blocked this turn. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If you do, discard a card. It's card filtering. It's okay. It's not the best one. But I mean, we'll see if it has a spot. But all in all, I think it's closer to Limited than it would be in Standard. Standard, we're looking at some pretty decent cards in the 2-drop slot. The next one is Dreamcaller Siren for 2 and 2 blue flash flying. Dreamcaller can only be blocked by creatures with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents for a 3/3. It's really good. It can mess up combat. Not that you can pay it. For at the end of your opponent's turn, tap a couple of guys down, help your pirates get through. It's a really good card. You're going to play it in Standard, maybe towards the higher drop, maybe like a 1 or a 2 of. But other than that, it's going to be Limited for sure. It's Limited Bomb. But it works out really well. I like it. I would probably try to fit at least a couple of them in Standard. Aggroth's Marauders. It's 5 and 2 red. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead for a 4/4. See, I had the same issue with Gold Knight Cascagators, and it really didn't see much play. I don't think this card's going to see much play. You're going to play it in Commander. Limited, it's really high. I mean, for a 7-drop in your curve of the Limited, it's kind of a little bit asking for much. But all in all, you're going to play it in Commander. That's about it. Rowdy Crew 2 and 2 red. Trample. Whenever Rowdy Crew enters the battlefield, draw 3 random cards and discard 2 cards at random. If 2 cards that share a card type are discarded this way, put 2 +1/+1 counties on Rowdy Crew. Basically, you can get for 4 mana, you can get a 5/5 with Trample. That is a really good deal. The issue is that since the thing is at random, it doesn't mean you're always going to get that effect. I mean, all in all, Limited, probably not in Standard. It doesn't have enough consistency for me. Yeah, so Limited Bomb. That's about it for that one. Captain Lanneray Storm, 2 red haste, legendary human pirate. Whenever it enters attacks, you get to create a treasure token. And then if you sacrifice that treasure token, you get to put +1/+0 until end of turn. It pumps itself. You're going to get tons of treasure tokens by the way it looks like from all the different decks in Standard. Really good card. Maybe in Standard. I'm looking more towards Limited. Some of the 3-drop slots, I mean, this may fight for a spot, but all in all, Limited for sure. Standard, probably maybe a 2 of, but highly unlikely. The next one is Hostage Taker, 2 blue and a black. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target artifact creature until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You can cast that card as long as it remains exiled, or if you spend the mana as though it was of any mana type to cast that spell for a 2/3. I like it. It takes hostages. You can take their best thing, and it makes it work out and looks great. Limited for sure. Standard, probably in the sideboard. The last one is Admiral Beckett Brass. For 1, a blue, black, and a red. Other pirates you control get +1/+1. At the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who has dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. The only issue is trying to get 3 pirates to deal damage that turn. We have some stuff to maybe be able to do that, but all in all, I want to play it Standard, but Limited for sure. Well, that's the Pirates. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I went a little bit fast this time, just that way I made sure I have plenty of time. And remember, check out our next video, and may the top decks be forever in your favor. Thanks. Have a good day.